Hello, my name is Anjali and welcome back. Today we'll be studying about the reversal of linked list. How can we reverse the linked list? For example, if you are given a list 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, our goal is to reverse it and return 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is our question. I hope you got the question. Now, we know that every element of a linked list contains a data part and address to the next element of the linked list. Very obvious thing, the statement of the linked list, that every node contains data. Here the data is 1 and it contains address of node 2. Similarly, for example, here the data is 4 and it contains address of node 3. Very obvious. So from this statement, we can make certain observations. Let's look at the observation for our linked list that is given to us. So we can say that from the given list, we can say that head equals to 1 head. So the starting node is head. This is equals to head. The starting node is head. Head equals to 1. That is what is written. 1 contains the address of node 2. 2 contains address of node 3. Right, 3 contains address of node 4, 4 contains address of node 5, 5 contains address of null. But what we want to make changes in the address part of the nodes such that from the output list we say that head equals to 5, 5 contains address of node 4, right? 4 contains address of node 3, 3 contains address of node 2, 2 contains address of node 1 and 1 contains address of null. To achieve our goal, this is our goal. What we need to do, we need to change the address. So what we'll do, we'll change the address of node as per our goal while we iterate through the original list. There are also certain points to remember while iterating through the list, which says, first point says store head and temporary variable. Second point says move head to next pointer for next iteration. Third point says look at the goal and make changes in the node stored in the temporary variable. Fourth point says store the value of temporary node which changes in another variable. Anything, you can name it anything. I'll say prev or previous, whatever. It's completely okay if you don't get these points or if you don't understand these points. What we'll do, we'll make use of each and every point in each iteration so that you can understand what I'm trying to say and why these points are important. And once you understand how it's happening, how in each iteration, why we are using these points, the program will become very easy. You will be able to write the program by yourself if you get the point. So without wasting time, let's get started on iterations. Let's start iterating. So the first iteration, our linked list looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 where head is pointing toward this node, which is 1 in this case. What step number 1 says is store head and temporary variable. So as per the first step, our temp variable contains reference to node 1. Okay, step number 1 is done. What step number 2 says is move head to next pointer for next iteration. Okay, head becomes head dot next, meaning that our linked list is now 2, 3, 4 and 5 and head is pointing towards the node 2. Okay, second point is also done. What our third point says is look at the goal and make changes in the node stored in the temporary variable, which is 1 in this case. So it says 1 contains the address of null as per the output list. So we'll say that temp dot next should be equals to null. So meaning 1 dot next is null now. Okay, third point is also clear. What fourth point says is store the value of temporary node with changes in another variable, say prev. So now previous contain reference to temp variable, which is 1 and null, right? So these are the changes in the first iteration what we have done. So now some of you may be thinking that why we are doing these steps, what good it is bringing to us, how it is solving our problem. So to understand that, we will do one more iteration. So I'll draw a line here and I'll write iteration number 2. As per the first step, it says here our linked list is 2, 3, 4 and 5, and head is pointing towards node 2. So as per the first step, it says that we should keep our head in temporary variable. So temp contains reference to node 2 in this case. As per the second step, we have to move head to next pointer. So head becomes head dot next, meaning now our head is pointing towards 3 instead of 2. For third step, we should know our goal, that 2 should contain the address of node 1. Now, our goal is to get 2 dot next as reference to node 1. That is why in the previous variable, we have stored reference to node 1 so that we can use that reference in the next step. So what we can say? We can say temp dot next equals to previous. So as per the fourth step, we need to update our previous variable and point it to temp. So now instead of pointing to 1, it is pointing to pointing to node 2 in this case. So previous contains reference to node 2, 2 contains reference to node 1 and 1 contains reference to node null. So I think you got the point what we are trying to do, but still we'll see the significance of each step. The first step says that we need temporary variable to do modification on the current node as per the code. So if you see the first iteration where our head is pointing towards 1, we have stored that in temp variable, that is head, and then we did head equals to head dot next, and then we did our modification in the temp variable. Some of you may argue that we could have simply done head dot next equals to null. But if we would have done that, we would have lost the reference of head dot next. That is why the first step we have store that head in temporary variable. In the second step, we have moved our head to head dot next so that we can change the next pointer for the temporary variable. Here initially head is equals to 1, but it is still pointing towards node 2. In the second step, we have made our head pointing towards node 2. In the third step, we break that reference, and instead of that, 1 is pointing towards null. So I think you got the point of using temporary variable. Now, second point says head equals to head dot next. Why? Because we need to do modification in the remaining list. In this case, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Third point says we need previous variable so that we can get hold of previous node. Prev or previous name is suitable because it is containing reference to previous node. So if you see the second iteration where our goal is to make this thing possible, 2 dot next equals to 1. If we would have not stored this reference in the previous variable, we could not have done this particular step. So, as per our goal, we need to have reference of the previous node in every step. For example, if we do third iteration where our linked list is 3, 4 and 5, for 3 dot next we need reference of node 2 as per our goal. So that is why it is very important to keep reference of previous node. That is why name previous is used. So I hope you got the significance of each and every step. And as we move towards third, fourth and fifth iteration, each and every step will become more clear so that you can write your own code. Now let's complete our third iteration. So first step says temporary equals to head, which is 3 in this case. Second point says move head to head dot next. So it becomes 4 and 5. Third step says we need 3 dot next. Look at the goal. What we need, 3 dot next should contain address of node 2. So what we want 3 dot next equals to 2. So as per our understanding, we'll say temp, which is 3 dot next equals to previous, because we have stored the reference of 2 in the previous variable. As per the fourth point, we'll update the previous to temp. Now it contains reference to 3 instead of 2. So it is like 3, 2, 1 and null. Now move to the fourth iteration. What is the fourth iteration says? First we'll write our linked list, which is 4 and 5. Head is pointing towards node 4. The first step says store head in temporary variable, which is 4. Second step says move head to head dot next, which is 5 in this case. Third step says 4 dot next. Let's look our goal. 4 dot next should contain reference of node 3, which is in our previous variable, if you remember. So we'll say 4 dot next equals to 3 means temp dot next equals to previous. Fourth step says we'll update our previous. So previous equals to temp, which is 4. So previous now contain reference to 4, 4 contains reference to 3, 2 and 1, and this contains reference to null. Now look at the fifth iteration. For the fifth iteration, first step says temp equals to 5. Now second step says move head to head dot next, which is null in this case. 5 dot next is null. Third step says 5 dot next equals to, so look at the goal. What it says is 5 dot next equals to node 4. We'll write 4 over there, which is in our previous. We know that we are doing it from long time. 4 which is reference in the previous node. So temp dot next equals to previous. Now update our previous. Now previous equals to temp, which is 5. So temp previous contains reference to node 5. 5 contains reference to node 4. 4, 3, 2 and 1, and it contains reference to null. So if you see here, when our head is equals to null, our previous contains the reverse node. So previous contains reference to 5 and 5 contains reference to 4. 4 contains reference to 3, 2 and 1. This is what we wanted. So when head is equals to null, if we simply return previous, which contains reference to 5, it will give the entire reverse linked list. So I think we have achieved our purpose. Now we will jump to writing the pseudo code. Before writing pseudocode, we will do bit of revision. So what we have learned so far, that we need two variables. The first variable we need is known as the temp variable. The second variable we need is equals to previous variable. The second point what we need is our exit condition. So what we have seen in the last iteration when head equals to null. This is what we have learned in the last iteration when head equals to null. So this is our exit condition. Previous will contain the reverse linked list. So what our exit condition says? That exit condition says if head equals to null, we will simply return the previous. This is our exit condition. Third condition says that in each iteration, for each iteration, you have to repeat 4 different steps. The first step is you have to assign head to temp variable. Then you have to increase head to next pointer, which is head is equals to head dot next. Third pointer say achieve your goal, which is temp dot next equals to previous, which we are doing in each and every iteration if you see here. And then fourth point, we will say previous equals to temp. Now we'll use these revision points as our pseudocode. How? We need to first define two variable temp and previous. Previous is initially pointing to null. If you see in the first point, what we have done, temp dot next is equals to null. So initially previous will contain reference of null. Second, we have our exit condition. If while head is not equals to null, we have to keep on iterating, and in the iteration we have to repeat these 4 steps over here. So now we'll directly jump to LeetCode and write our program. So this is problem number 206, reverse the linked list. Let's start writing our code. First we need to define temp variable, and then we need to have previous, which contains reference of null initially. Our exit condition, while head is not equals to null, we have to keep on iterating and we have to write 4 steps. First, temp will contains reference of head pointer. Head will move 1 step ahead, which is head dot next. Then we have to achieve our goal, which is temp dot next is equals to previous, and then previous will contain reference of temp, and we can return previous, which will contain our reverse linked list when head is equals to null. Let's try to run the program. All the test cases are accepted. If you see here, we'll submit it. Now it's time to have a cup of coffee and work on follow-up question. You need to reverse the linked list but without using loop. And hint over here is that you need to use recursion. Try to solve this question by yourself, and if you face any difficulty, we will solve this question in follow-up video. I hope you have enjoyed this video very much. Notes are available in the description below. Please do like, share and subscribe. We'll meet in another video. Till then, bye bye. Take care.